Hey everybody, welcome back to the Routine Podcast.
Gymnastics Conversations.
I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Chelsea's mom, Diana.
And we're back for episode 75.
Ooh, it's a nice number like 75. Not 74 and not 76.
5 away from 80.
3/4 there to 100.
I feel like it was a good weekend of meets. I watched a lot of meets this weekend.
It was an okay weekend of meets. I mean, I know that I was ready to watch meets because it was a 4-day holiday weekend.
Right.
But I really couldn't find any to watch. I mean, I found 2. Was I looking in the wrong place?
Probably.
You know what's wrong? You used to
send you links.
You did.
But College Gym News literally does all of the work for me.
You say that every time. Mom, just go to college. But why can't you just send them to me like you used to?
Is that what you want me to do?
I do. Because not only do you give me the links, but you tell me which ones I should be watching. College Gym News lists everything. And that's hard for me. Because then I'm like, what day, which ones, what time?
Why are you telling me in week 9 of the season?
Because I've been struggling with this. I've been trying to be independent, right? Like the last episode where I wrote my own notes and all that. I've been trying.
Have you been harboring this emotion?
I think I've even said this to you. I've hinted, like, Chelsea.
Yeah, you've hinted, but I didn't know it was that serious.
Yeah. I say, Chelsea, where's my thing? Chelsea, where's my thing? You're like, go to College Gym News.
That's what I do.
I know. Can you just send them to me? So long story short, I watched 2 of them. One of them I watched because you called me and said, they're on now, Mom.
Which meet was that?
LSU.
Yeah.
But I want to watch more. I just don't know what I'm supposed to watch.
Yeah.
And it's
so does that
just,
mean you haven't been using our Sling TV?
I didn't even know we had Sling.
For Pac-12?
Oh, I remember now. See what I mean?
I've been using the heck out of Sling.
And that's what I was going to say. Part of it is, I'm not sure
how to access links, logins. Yeah, it is like a whole bunch of stuff you got to figure out.
Right. And you used to be more helpful, daughter.
Okay, Mom. Well, I'll help you from now on.
Thank you, please.
But we had a really good episode last week with Jeremy James Miranda, and a lot of people really enjoyed it, which I was really happy about. We heard from Erin, and she said, it's so cool to hear about how our amazing floor routines are created, and she's the photographer for the University of Florida.
Which is why our is in there, our amazing floor routines. We also heard from Dave Pendries. We haven't heard from Dave in a while, right?
Oh, he's pretty consistent, which I appreciate.
And Dave wrote, great stuff as always. Enjoyed hearing about Jeremy Miranda's adventures and the confluence of dance and gymnastics.
Yeah, which is true because I don't think I knew that Jeremy was a gymnast himself. So that was interesting to hear.
I actually found it more interesting listening to his acting career.
It's such a cool tidbit to know.
So you just get a whole different perspective than you saw before we did the interview.
And then we also heard from Derek E. Hoover. He said, I always mean to leave a voicemail or a tweet for the Routine Podcast, but I never do. But I love y'all.
So we're hearing from Derek. We're hearing from Dave. Our homies are remembering.
Homies. Wow.
Is that the right word?
You guys are homies now.
What would it be if it
Our
wasn't
OGs.
a homie? Our OGs. That's better. That sounds better than a homie, I guess. Yeah. Our OGs are reminding us that they're still listening.
But, Derek, it would still be pretty cool if we heard your voice.
Or, Dave, it'd be pretty good to hear your voice again.
Yeah. But speaking of voicemails.
We got a voicemail.
This voicemail is from Jordan.
Hi, ladies. I love your podcast. I live in South Florida and watch SEC Friday Night Heights every week. I was wondering if you know what happened to Alexa Al-Hamid from Georgia. She was one of my favorites from last year, and I read that she is retired already. Do you know why? Thanks for your info.
That is a great question. And I think this has just been like a mysterious fact in the gymternet since preseason, really. But I don't think an answer has ever really come forward. I know she said on her own social media that she just decided to retire. We don't know if it was a medical decision or if she just wanted to step away from the sport. But I totally agree with you. I loved her bar routine, and I feel like she had a lot of potential at Georgia. So thank you, Jordan, for the voicemail.
Very much appreciate it.
So, Mom, since you struggled so much to watch gymnastics this weekend, what meets did you end up watching?
Okay, I watched 2.
Okay.
One was on Friday night, and the second one was on Sunday. I really, really want to watch Oklahoma. Is that going to be on Sling? Have you been watching them?
I have not really. I've been watching their highlights, but I haven't really had the chance to watch like a full meet from top to bottom. But I do know that Maggie got 2 10s this week.
Did she really?
Yeah.
On, let me just guess. Beam.
No.
Vault. And bars.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so now
2 10s.
Yeah, as of right now, her and Kyla are tied.
How did Kyla do this weekend?
She didn't get any 10s. They actually took her out of the all-around this weekend, which, good job.
Yes.
But Kyla, she's just doing her thing.
So they're tied.
She's, like, really, like, holding it down for UCLA.
Wow. So congratulations, Maggie, 2 10s.
Yeah, incredible. I think she knows, like, what's on the line.
She's dialing it in.
Yeah, so it's just like she's just trying to knock out the 10s as much as she can.
It's that, but it's also her senior year.
Yeah.
So if she's going out, let's just
do it.
Go out.
Now or never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Maggie can do that. Maggie can go to a whole different little zone.
Mm-hmm. She's not playing around anymore, guys.
And then there's Trinity.
Oh, Trinity. That was such a beautiful beam routine. She also got a 10.
She did.
She's on the run.
She's just a beautiful gymnast to watch. And you know what I think I've realized about Trinity? And of course, we've watched her for 2 years now, at least in collegiate gymnastics. She can really almost do anything and everything.
What do you mean?
I just mean that her talent is so deep.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a matter of her figuring out elite versus college. And now that she's kind of got that figured out, it's like, okay.
It's like she still has like a little bit of spurts where it's like she's still trying to figure it out.
Just vault.
Right. But once she kind of just like turns that, it's like,
over.
oh man, guys.
It's over.
Oh, man.
And I think I asked you this before because one of your all-time favorite gymnasts to watch over the years, especially when you were in club, was Keitra.
Keitra Hunter.
Yeah, Chelsea. Look at her. She's just holding her heart right now, guys.
Oh, my gosh.
You can't even see
She
it.
was my favorite.
Favorite of all favorites.
Whew.
And she competed at Florida. But she was, when Chelsea was in club, Keitra was in club. And so I think Chelsea got the chance to watch her compete in club, but then got the chance to watch her compete in Florida.
I think she was what made me a Florida fan.
You loved watching her, right? How does she compare to Trinity?
That's not right, Mom.
Oh, is it
That's
bad?
not right.
That's a bad question.
No, there definitely is a difference. I think Trinity has a little bit more like finesse to her. Trinity is so smooth and...
Yeah, she's like running water to me.
Yeah. Elegant.
Just rolls, yeah.
And Keitra was just like, holy bleep. She can just do anything.
It was power.
Yeah, power, but also just like, she could just do it. And Trinity's like... That's how I picture it.
It's like wind, right?
Yeah.
It's just like a breeze that's just kind of flowing.
Yeah.
I don't remember Keitra as much. I just remember you kind of fanning out on Keitra. And I don't think I watched gymnastics like that at that point at all. But Trinity is graceful, powerful, flexible.
Flexible. Yeah. Graceful and flexible are not adjectives I would use to describe Keitra.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Trinity is more of the full package. She's not as powerful as Keitra was, but she has these other qualities that Keitra didn't have.
Gotcha. I'm going to have to YouTube Keitra now just to remind myself.
Oh, good time.
If I do that, I got to YouTube Ashley Knapp.
Oh, no. They're just going to be in a rabbit hole.
I still love that one floor routine.
I know, Mom. I know. But how did we get on this? Oh, Trinity just being excellent.
Yeah, Trinity getting a 10.
Yeah, I think, again, at postseason, I think Trinity is going to be in that next gear so that come her junior season, which is kind of crazy to say that next year she's going to be a junior already, I think she's going to be at, like, Kyla Ross level.
If not beyond.
Yeah, if not better. So, what were...
I've got notes again. Do you want me to just go to my notes?
Well, let's not be as extensive this week.
Okay.
Because we do have an interview.
I don't have lots of notes.
Just give me one highlight from the Florida Auburn
I'm
meet.
showing Chelsea my notes.
It's on a receipt.
It's on a Chipotle receipt.
Oh, Chipotle.
And I used a black Sharpie.
Yeah, I can't read that.
No.
It looks like gibberish.
Yeah, so I didn't do extensive notes this time. Okay, so we're going to start with Auburn. And
Just one.
Okay.
Just one.
Gracie Day.
Oh, she was good.
Gracie Day on floor.
Right? She is a performer, okay? I don't know what she plans to do
and
after.
I know you've mentioned it on our previous episodes. That was my first time watching it.
It's like that creepy, psychotic type routine that you just can't look away from.
That most gymnasts don't perform.
Right.
Creepy and psychotic in gymnastics doesn't seem like
And
it
it's
would
like
match.
when she finishes at the end, she's like sitting like cross-legged, like bouncing with this huge smile on her face.
Right.
Yeah.
So
She had a really good meet.
She did. She really did. Auburn didn't have a great meet, but Gracie had a great meet. And then, of course, Florida. The one thing I'd mention about on Florida is they obviously kick butt, but more importantly, beam for them.
Oh my gosh, they're a beam team.
Okay, so their lowest score on beam that counted was a 9.875. Their lowest score on beam.
Crazy. And like all of those scores were deserved in my opinion.
Right. Trinity 10, Rachel Gowie 9.95, Alyssa Bauman 9.925. Top 3. And can I just mention Peyton, this freshman?
She doesn't even look like she's
This
stressed
freshman?
at all.
Okay, first on vault, 9.95.
Yeah, it was good.
Was Peyton.
She's like really the only one that can control her landing so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what about LSU and Kentucky?
Yep, got to watch that meet. And
LSU's coming around.
yes, they are. I think it's the injury bug right now, though.
Yeah. But, I mean, they're getting, like, Christina Desiderio is getting back in the lineups, which is really, really good to see. But I think kind of the name of the game for LSU right now is slow and steady might win the race.
You think? I think it's definitely slow and steady.
Slow and steady. I mean,
I
they're
don't know
climbing.
about winning the race, but slow and
may make
steady.
it to the Final Four. Slow and steady may make it to the Final Four.
Well, they're ranked 6, so it's not like they're that far beyond.
So hopefully they can just maintain.
And be healthy. Again, I think there's going to be an issue about health of gymnasts, especially because they don't have a lot of depth. Mm-hmm. And so being healthy is going to be really key.
Yeah. Kentucky, it wasn't their best meet, but I think it's good for teams to have meets like this where they can go through adversity and know that their team has their back. So LSU ended up winning, which is good for them.
Almost by a full point.
Almost by a full point. Wow. There were some scoring discrepancies.
Were they in the
I guess you
PMAC?
could say. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, to do it.
But we're not going to go there today.
No,
We're not.
no.
I will say that I watched Cal versus Stanford, and I think I am a Cal fan.
You were always a Cal fan. That's
No,
not
but like now I'm like really pulling for them.
Okay.
I really want them to make it to nationals.
Really?
They have a lot of great gymnasts.
This is you in the Sling TV, right?
Yeah, it's really opening my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those situations where it's like you never know how it's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it fun to watch.
Sure.
Like you're really pulling for them.
Sure.
And I've been watching them kind of consistently throughout the season, so I've been seeing the ebbs and flows of the different lineups and the gymnasts, so that's been really fun to watch. Stanford, I think they have also kind of been struck with the injury bug, so they haven't been spectacular this year, but I'm hoping that Stanford can be back to where they were probably like 2011, I think, around then when they made it to nationals, which was really cool. And then the last meet I watched was Minnesota and Nebraska. I was hoping that the meet would be a lot closer than it was, because I know that Nebraska on a good day is a really good team, but they just didn't have it. And Minnesota was at home, and
Minnesota did great.
oh my gosh, they're so good.
Yeah.
They are a national level team. They just need to work on their floor. They don't have a lot of E passes, but they're just such a beautiful team to watch. A lot of the gymnasts are technically very pretty on beam, on bars. They have a lot of Yurchenko 1.5s, which is great. And Lexi Ramler, like, hello. She's just such a beautiful gymnast.
Guess who's the number 2 team in the country on beam?
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
But to your point, they're 20 on floor.
Yeah. It's tough. I think you would actually really like watching Minnesota.
Please just send me a link and I will watch them.
So I'm pulling for either Minnesota or Cal to join the teams at nationals this year.
Okay.
It's that fresh blood coming into the national arena, if you will, which is always a nice thing to see.
I think we've got to talk about the sad news this weekend.
So many injuries,
Yeah.
specifically Achilles injuries. Not even just this weekend. This weekend was particularly high, but this season, I think College Gym News mentioned that the numbers aren't any higher than last year. Just it's these big name gymnasts that are going down. So at the Alabama meet this past weekend, Griffin James, that was hard to watch. Her first pass was a full in, and like it looked good. She just didn't get the air,
height.
That she needed, and then like she like landed like on her stomach because you just can't. And that must be so terrifying because you obviously can't stop the skill midair, and then all of a sudden you're just on the ground.
Right. You didn't get the lift that you know that you normally get.
Yeah.
And you didn't get the lift because you didn't have an Achilles to help you punch.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's what happened with you. The good part was you were going into a pit.
Yeah, resi.
A resi.
Yeah.
So you didn't need the lift. We also know that from Denver, Lindsey Brown was injured.
Oh my God. That hurts, one, because she's such a rock star for Denver as an all-around gymnast, consistently scoring in the 9.9s on all of the events. But I feel like we know Lindsay,
We do know Lindsay. We do one interview with somebody and we know
No,
them.
we've interviewed...
We've done twice.
Yeah.
Well, I know her mom. Let me just say that.
Because you watch these gymnasts week after week, year after year, you feel like you know them, and it hurts, and it sucks when gymnasts get hurt, especially when they're having such great seasons. But we're wishing them a speedy recovery. And I know a lot of people, especially now that this is so heightened in the gymternet, people are wanting to know answers, obviously. There needs to be more research. And we've actually talked about this with Dr. Dave Tilley a couple of times when he's been on our show. So if you guys want to hear his answer to this and why he believes there's such an influx in Achilles tears, go ahead and listen to either of his previous episodes. I'll link them on our website.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And, one of his things he talks about is that it's really about the damage that has occurred to the gymnast prior to getting to college. The overuse to get the gymnast ready for college and hurts the gymnast. So
Not even just that, though. Think about how many times as gymnasts we do a tumbling pass, front or back tumbling, from level 6 all the way up to level 10.
Yeah.
That's so many times.
Right, overuse.
Even for warm-ups, you're doing round-off hamstring tucks. On vault, if you're doing your Chenko vaults, you're doing a round-off entry. Those are just like basic skills in gymnastics. So doing that over and over and over again, like something's bound to happen.
Right.
But how do we fix it? That's the thing. Because this really cannot keep happening.
Where's Dr. Dave Tilley?
I know, right? We need him on speed dial.
Maybe he can leave us a voicemail.
That'd be cool, actually.
It really would.
So yeah, the injury bug has hit again. But we're wishing all of the gymnasts, no matter what the injury is, a speedy recovery.
And here is, I'll say shout out, but it's more like a heart out to the mothers and the fathers who are helping their daughters recover physically and mentally.
Mm-hmm. So can we lighten the mood a little bit?
Oh, please. Please. I think, you know what? Us and injuries, it's just a sore subject.
Yeah, because we've been there.
It makes us relive that again. And so when somebody gets injured, for us, it takes us emotionally to a different place.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of feel it in our gut like it was yesterday.
Anyways, moving on from injuries.
Please.
Because we haven't heard about Division 2, Division 3 in a while, we decided to bring on one of the experts in the field of Division 2 and Division 3, Rebecca from College Gym News.
Yes, we talked to Rebecca right before the season started about what she'd share with us regarding these other divisions. So we thought it'd be a good time to check in and see what's happening. We are joined with Rebecca from College Gym News. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello.
How are you?
I am doing really well, thank you.
Last time we talked, it seems like it was forever ago, like maybe 2 months ago?
Yes, everything has gone very quickly since then.
It has. And I think, when we started 2 months ago, we were all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed about the new season starting and all the great things that are going to happen. And now we're here.
We got some of those things we were hoping for.
We did? What did we get, Rebecca?
I mean, we've gotten a lot of the freshmen that we picked out as being big deals really being big
That's
deals.
true.
Right? Yeah.
Michigan's been a big deal, so that was true.
Yes, Sierra Brooks, Gabby Wilson. Peyton Richards of Florida is somebody who has really, really materialized. And Kaya Johnson as well, of course.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I think this is like a freshman season.
Yes. Oh, Makari Doggett as well, of course.
Oh, from Alabama, yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think we expected that. Although we did highlight, like you said, we highlighted some of the freshmen, but I don't think we thought the freshmen would supersede the seniors, which I think is what's happening now.
For sure. It is a big senior season, too. I'm looking at the rankings right now. Our top three all-arounders are Maggie Nichols, Kyla Ross, and Maddie Carr.
Of course they are.
Another senior who's really high, who I'm really excited about right now, is Ebony Roberson at Washington. Washington's first perfect 10 since 2004. She also got her all-around career high, which is a 39.65.
Wow. What did she get the 10 on, Rebecca?
Beam.
Yeah, it was a beautiful beam routine, too.
She does a layout, step out, acro series, just like Samantha Sakti at UCLA. And then she does a switch leap to standing switch split jump. There are a couple other gymnasts in the country who do that, but not many of them.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, now, and I love obviously watching anybody get a 10, but for whatever reason, I love watching 10 on beam.
I was lucky enough to be at Rutgers when Lexi Ramler got her first 10.
How was it in person?
It was wonderful. I have no complaints about that whatsoever. That whole Minnesota beam rotation is so fantastic.
And did the crowd go nuts?
Oh, yeah. There were a lot of very gymnastics literate people there because there is a community of gymnastics fans in New York City that don't really have a backyard team. So a lot of them will go to Rutgers as a group because it is the closest team to the city. They were all there that day. So there were a lot of people who were very, very excited for Lexi Ramler.
Sure. Rebecca, as we're speaking, I think one of the things we talked about when we were talking to each other last was the 2-pass floor routine. I bring this up on each episode. Now that you're, 8 weeks in, how are you feeling about that?
A lot of people are doing really difficult leaps on floor. There are a lot of torsion fulls, a lot of things like wolf jumps with 1.5 turn. So leaps have kind of been my story of the season on floor because it is something that it's difficult to assess if you don't really, really have your eye in. But a lot of people are running into trouble with rotating those leaps fully. I will say, I mentioned Ebony Roberson. She also has a 2-pass floor routine. She does a front double full punch front and a Rudy to layout step out. And that also works really, really well for her. I think that if one of your tumbling passes is really difficult, I don't have a problem with it at all. But it can be dangerous if you are really leaning on leaps that the judges can hit you on.
It's really
I
true.
agree.
I think for me, the judge is still out. Pardon the pun, but how about the jury is still out?
Let's not bring judges
Maybe
into
the
this.
judge and the jury are both still out on 2-pass floor routines. But I think to your point, if it's a hard tumbling pass and really good leaps and really good choreography and dance, maybe.
And I think one of the things that is really great about NCAA is that the code has wiggle room for you to adapt to your own personal needs.
Sure. So talk to us about Division 2. What's been happening in Division 2?
Oh, it has been up and down.
In a good way or a bad way?
It depends who you talk to, I think. So I think that Lindenwood and Bridgeport are the two that I picked out early in the season as the ones who will be fighting for that USAG National Championship. Neither of them has really hit their groove yet, but both of them have shown a lot of potential.
So you still sticking with them that they will be the two that are going to be fighting it out at Nationals?
I think so. We had a crazy weekend last week where Texas Women's decided to go 195 2 meets in a row.
Wow.
And they can do it.
Bridgeport's obviously massive amount of potential. They've had some injuries this year. They're in this thing right now where one event goes dramatically, horribly wrong every meet. Often beam, but bars has been iffy as well.
I think I saw that Westchester beat them. Is that correct?
By almost a point. I know that Bridgeport was really unhappy about the judging at that meet.
So it was an away meet?
Yes, it was at Penn. But there was a situation, I'm sure you guys know Maya Reimers.
Yes.
Maya Reimers is amazing. She is one of the best floor workers in the country. The judges decided to give her a 9.9 start value for her floor routine. I think that is bonkers, personally. I haven't looked at their scoring sheets, but it doesn't stop the fact that Bridgeport did have 3 falls on beam at that meet.
That hurts.
Yes, it does hurt.
What other schools to talk about?
The other big one who we haven't hit on much yet is Lindenwood, which I feel like is just sort of finding its groove, but it's been a slower journey this year than we've seen before. One thing that did happen is that head coach Jen Llewellyn, who is married to the assistant coach Cody Llewellyn, had a baby a couple of weeks ago.
That's what's going on.
Yeah. I know the whole team is so happy and so excited, but it is different to be on the road without your coach, for sure.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Yeah. But I will say the one thing about Lindenwood that I've noticed over the years is that whenever it comes time in postseason to perform well, they always do really well under pressure. So
yes, for sure. I am not ruling them out in the slightest, and they are still the number 1 USAG team. It's just I'm still waiting for the really big scores, and I know they can do better.
Yeah. Do we need to talk about Division 3 at all, or anything happening there?
So in the Western Division, the WIAC of Division 3, last season was a little bit of reversal of fortunes because the really kind of dynasty teams that have been holding that division up for decades, Whitewater and La Crosse, both had pretty bad seasons. And a couple of other teams, Oshkosh and Stout, really stepped up and led the pack. This year has been interesting because Whitewater and La Crosse are back in a big way, and those 4 teams are all just in a crazy catfight. It's really exciting, and only 3 of them can go to nationals, so game on, guys.
Oh, wow.
And then in the Eastern Division, a lot of us kind of thought that Brockport, which is last year's national champion, would graduate a lot of routines and would be in a bit of a tight spot this year. That has not really happened. Brockport is still doing very, very well.
Okay. Okay, so we do this, Rebecca, with everybody on the show, and I know we did it earlier, 2 months ago, but now we're going to do it again now that we're 8 weeks in. Mm-hmm. Who do you think is going to win at nationals, but we want your first place, second place, third place, and fourth place finisher? Your predictions, my dear.
I still don't think anyone's really touching Oklahoma right now, but I do feel very, very good about Florida, so I'm going to make Florida my number 2.
Okay. This is where it gets tough, right?
Yes. I'm going to go Utah for my number 3. I've watched a lot of Utah recently, and that beam rotation is just otherworldly. There's nothing like it.
It is. Yeah. Utah on beam, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, one of my fun facts right now, Utah on beam and Washington on beam, both doing so well right now. Utah beam is coached by a Washington Gymnastics alum. Washington beam is coached by a Utah Gymnastics alum. So, great.
Fun fact.
Yeah. And then my fourth place, oh gosh. I don't think UCLA is making it this year, but I'm also not bummed out about that.
Mm-hmm.
UCLA is all about the journey.
Agreed. Totally agree.
I think Denver is in big trouble now, potentially, if Lindsey Brown is really injured.
I know.
It hurts your heart, doesn't it?
Yeah, not something you want to see. I'm going to go a little bit left field and say Michigan, I think. Michigan has not really, really put it together. That means that we don't really know how high the ceiling is. And my intuition is it's freaking high.
I do too. Yeah. I mean, you called that actually 2 months ago. You called that with Michigan.
Yeah.
Chelsea, your fourth place. Who do you think? I think we can agree on the 1, 2, and 3. I mean, 3, yeah. But who's your 4th?
It's just so hard because even in these first 8 weeks, I feel like we've seen teams grow and some teams lose a lot of gymnasts due to injury. So it's just hard to see who will be the 4 on the floor. But I think UCLA will be 3rd. I think they're going to get it together.
Okay.
And then 4th, I think it's going to be Utah. Utah is looking really, really good this year.
Yeah. I'm actually going where Rebecca went. I think Utah, to your point, is looking so good that they're going to be 3rd. They won't beat Florida and they won't beat Oklahoma, but I think they'll beat everybody else. So I think Utah will be 3rd. And I actually think Alabama is going to be 4th.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, because Alabama, I watched them again this weekend, or, this past weekend. They're doing really, really well.
Yeah.
I love Alabama bars this season so much. That rotation is it's so much fun to watch.
It really is. And I just think for us watching Alabama over, the last couple of seasons and their struggles, and now watching them compete at the level that they're competing at, it's just really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. And even their routines, I think the way that their routines are composed, it's really hard to deduct from them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I think it's going to be Alabama. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be really cool.
Kind of like gymnastics history of the dynasty teams really coming back.
Yeah.
You got to get Georgia back, though, for that.
Yes.
All right, Rebecca, before you leave us, any other tidbit that you want our listeners to know about Division 1, Division 2, or Division 3, or anything, actually?
This isn't a surprise, but I want everybody to be watching Maya Reimers because the thing that she hasn't done yet this year is do her 2 EPOS floor routine. She has a double layout. She has a full in. Right now, she's alternating them and doing one meet, one the next. She can do them together, but she's waiting for a lineup in which she has 5 clean routines ahead of her.
And she's with Bridgeport, right?
Yes, she is. Yep.
So Maya from Bridgeport is who you want us to watch.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to watch it. And like you said, she alternates. So that means we have to watch more than one. And most importantly, we will have to watch her at nationals because I bet you that's when she'll put both together. That's like the perfect tidbit to give us, Rebecca.
She's so much fun. It is just unbelievable to watch. You can find it on YouTube. It's ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it in Division 2.
Rebecca, as always, it's been such good fun talking to you.
Thank you. I have so much fun as well.
You give us all this information that we don't know about. It's like you give us all the secrets that we don't know about that you share. So it's so perfect.
I think it's really important with these teams that a lot of people don't watch so easily. I think people just feel a little bit overwhelmed with not knowing where to start, not knowing how to find who their favorites are going to be. So just giving little bits of information that they can start to hang other things on.
I think so too. And I also think, people think that Division 2 skills are lesser than the Division 1 skills, but they're actually not. And
No.
I think if you start watching Division 2, you'll find that they're doing the same skills. It's really more of consistency than anything else.
Right, yeah.
So perfect, Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Rebecca is just a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, I think she could talk to us for another hour or two.
We could talk to her.
Yeah.
And it's funny because right after we ended the interview, I was like, I wanted to ask her this, but I also wanted to ask her this. And then you're like, yeah, I wanted to ask her that too.
And I wanted to go online and watch Maya and some of the other gymnasts that she spoke about.
Funny enough, she actually sent all of the links of the routines that we talked about in the interview. So I'll also add those to the website too.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Thank you for being such a fount of information and just helping to educate all of us on Division 2 and Division 3.
So this weekend, woo-wee, I'm so excited.
You mean like the one that's coming up?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are several meets that I am so ready for.
All right. Who are they?
Starting with, on Friday, Alabama will be at Florida. Alabama's coming off that injury to Griffin James, and very clearly they were shaken last Friday, but it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back. And Florida is at home, so I'm sure they're just gonna be on a run.
Yeah, and I think this will be interesting because, like I shared, I actually think Alabama could be the team that gets fourth this year in nationals. I think
that makes my heart so happy. Like with Dana Duckworth.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think we'll find out more from this meet and how they compete.
Yeah, how they do under this pressure.
Yeah, right. At Florida.
Also, Elevate the Stage is this weekend, so all of the Big Ten teams are competing, and I'm so excited to see the results. This is like a little mock Big Ten championships, so again, this is a nice little view into what the future may be.
And we have the 2As competing, Auburn and Arkansas. Do we ever say that? The 2As? No. Okay. No. Well, we've got Auburn versus Arkansas.
And they're going to be at Arkansas.
And then we have the 2Us.
Wait, I'm not done yet.
But I just saw the 2As and the 2Us.
Okay, Mom, but you're jumping the gun here.
Okay, I'll hold off on the U's.
They're competing at Arkansas, which already the environment at Arkansas is like at a whole nother level. And these two teams, I would actually kind of say that they're even on a good day. Like if Auburn does what they're capable of,
right,
it could be a really good meet.
And it will be interesting with Gracie Day's floor routine at Arkansas and how the fans react to that.
Or Darian.
Oh, Darian and how she walks out on the floor. Oh my gosh.
Every time she goes, it's not even how she walks onto the floor.
That is something, though.
It's how she walks off of the floor when she's done the routine. Like, she is just, oh my gosh.
She's just Darian. And she was doing that as a freshman.
I know.
And then we've got the 2Us.
Oh, which I am most excited for.
Can I just say who they are first?
Okay, go ahead.
Utah versus UCLA.
And it's at UCLA. But this should be a really good meet. I need UCLA to have a good beam rotation.
They're going to need it against Utah's beam rotation.
This has been the thorn in their side all season. So I'm hoping...
I wonder why. They're so good at beam. It hasn't been happening.
It just hasn't been there.
Okay.
So I'm hoping everything comes together. They're good on vault. And I hope Utah does what they've been doing all season.
I do too. I actually am rooting for Utah on this one.
All right.
I am. I just think that, it's a new team. New coaches.
Yeah.
No Michaela.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's such a huge rivalry.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So you're going to send me links to all these, right?
I will.
Thank you. Thank you, daughter.
And this Utah versus UCLA meet will be on ESPN2.
Great.
On Sunday.
Now, Chelsea's going to send me links. However, as she has shared with me, College Gym News has all of the meets on their website.
Mm-hmm. With the links. So, again, don't really know why I'm taking it a step further and emailing you personally.
Because you, A, I'm your co-host. B, you prioritize for me.
Like, what you should spend your time.
That is correct.
Your valuable, precious time watching.
That's right, because this is a part-time gig for me.
Okay, I get it, Mom.
A part-time unpaid gig for me.
All right, Mom. All right.
So just links, that's all I'm asking. However, what I was going to say is remember that College Gym News is your one-stop shop for all things college gymnastics. For event coverage, leotard rankings, in-depth features, fantasy gymnastics resources, and more, visit collegegymnews.com.
And if you're interested in supporting CGN's expanding coverage, visit collegegymnews.com/donate.
College Gym News, all the college gymnastics news you want, all in one place.
So thank you all for your comments this past week. I'm glad you all enjoyed Jeremy's interview. We had such a good time at the University of Florida. Everyone was so nice.
And we watched an amazing meet.
Yeah. But if you liked any of our past episodes or even this episode, be sure to give us 5 stars on the Apple Podcast app. It really helps us out. And if you want to continue the conversation with us, we would love it. Be sure to tweet us. Our Twitter is @routinepodcast. You can email us at info@theroutinepodcast.com, or you can leave us a voicemail on our website, theroutinepodcast.com.
And you do that by going to the episode that you're most interested in. Look at the top. You'll see 4 buttons. One of those is a voicemail button. You click the voicemail button, then you click the microphone, and you leave us a voicemail. And don't forget to become a Routine Podcast member. You do that by visiting our member page and choose one of 3 options: box seat, general admission, or front row seat member. Once you become a member, you're going to receive a great Routine Podcast bag and access to exclusive interviews, photographs, and discussions between Chelsea and myself.
And thank you to all of you who have already subscribed. And we'll talk to y'all next week. Enjoy this weekend of meets, because I know I will. Bye.
I'll enjoy it when I get a list. Bye.
We're done. We're done. We're done. You're fired.
Please fire me.
What?
Pretty please.
Okay. Goodbye, guys. We have some discussions.
Bye.